The recruiting in NCAA Dynasty Mode completely changes your team building experience. In NCAA, you gotta put in those recruits, man. You gotta put in that time each season, and if you don't land those recruits, that's your ass.
FlemLo raps.
Whoa, what's good? My name is FlemLo Raps. I want to welcome y'all to another episode of Let Me Talk My Shit. Today, we have a very special episode. This is going to be part 1 of a 5-part series entitled Madden versus NCAA. In this series, I'm going to argue on behalf of both games. It's not going to be a biased series, even though, let me just say out front, I am a bigger NCAA fan. But I'm a very objective person. I'm going to take the positives from Madden versus the positives from NCAA in a couple different categories. Here are the categories. Connected franchise mode from the coach/GM position versus dynasty mode in NCAA. Connected franchise mode from the player's perspective versus road to glory in NCAA. And then at the end of it, we'll have a bonus episode. Today's episode, we're going to focus on the NCAA side of Dynasty Mode, okay? Next week's episode, we're going to focus on Madden Connected Franchise from the coaches or the GM's perspective. So again, today is going to be all about the things that I think NCAA does better than Madden does when it comes to their Dynasty Mode. NCAA has so many games inside of the actual on the field football game, right? And so in my opinion, it makes their dynasty mode deeper and more fun. While Madden has things to do, you can set ticket prices, you can, relocate the stadium. It's just the things that you have to do off the field in NCAA have a direct correlation. Like, you cannot be successful for a long period of time if you don't do the off the field things in NCAA. Versus Madden, shit is more like novelty, let's be honest. Alright, off the bat, in NCAA you got way more teams to choose from. Now obviously this is a direct byproduct of just the way the NCAA is set up systematically versus the way that the NFL is set up. NFL, you got your 32 teams, that's it. NCAA has hundreds of teams. So in the game, you have over 100 teams, I think like 121 teams to choose from. This really adds to the RPG elements of the game, because if you think about any RPG game, the more characters you have to choose from, the better. The more diversity, the more variety, the more replayability. So as far as characters or teams to choose from, more is always better. The ranking system. NCAA's ranking system, I'll be honest, man, I'm not a huge fan of it in real life. Due to the way the ranking system is set up, if you pick a really bad team, you can go undefeated for several years in a row, assuming you're just playing, your conference and other teams on your level, maybe a few big schools here and there. But you can do that and still not be able to play for the big game, the national championship. In the NFL or on Madden, you can I could pick the Browns, and if I could win, let's not say the Browns. I could pick the Jaguars, and if I could win my division, I can go to the playoffs. And if I can go to the playoffs, I could win the Super Bowl. The journey on NCAA is just longer and it's more difficult. So in turn, it's also more rewarding. You know what I'm saying? Madden is a much more sophisticated game than NCAA is. This is true. Now, obviously, Madden has a little bit of advantage when it comes to that, since how they're still making their game and they haven't made NCAA since NCAA 14. But in my opinion, it kind of hinders Madden, because in NCAA the gameplay is simpler, but it allows for less bullshit and you get more realistic outcomes. I'm not saying that the game is uber realistic. That's not what I'm saying. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, due to the simplicity, you get more realistic and consistent outcomes. For example, if my receiver is just better than your cornerback is, I'm gonna win 90% of the battles. You know what I'm saying? On Madden, it's a lot more random. And let's not even talk about the fucking crazy ass Odell Beckham catch, done by every single player in Madden. That's some bullshit, but I guess that's neither here nor there. The last thing that I want to talk about in today's video is recruiting. This is really the biggest thing, that's why I saved it for last. The recruiting in NCAA Dynasty Mode completely changes your team building experience. When you play Madden, you're honestly better suited to go the get rich quick scheme route. You know what I'm saying? In NCAA, you gotta put in those recruits, man. You gotta put in that time each season, and if you don't land those recruits, that's your ass. In Madden, you got free agency, you got trading, and honestly, the draft is probably the worst way to build your team on Madden, because if you have a decent team, you making the playoffs, you're not gonna get a really good draft pick, and then the second round, third round pick is gonna be complete ass. So the best thing to do is to go to free agency or make trades and land, those big players. And then also, once you get these players, man, you're gonna have them for a long time, as long as you smart enough, you know how to manipulate contracts in the game. It's relatively easy. You can get a quarterback, franchise quarterback, you're gonna have that dude for 10 years, unless you self-sabotage yourself and you opt to get rid of him. In NCAA, you get that top quarterback dude, if he have 2 really good years, he might dip. You know what I'm saying? Like after the second year, you gotta be on your toes, because he might try to dip on you. And then after the third year, and then after 4 years, he's gone regardless. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is you have to constantly adapt, because you constantly bringing in players and moving out players, bringing in players and moving out players. Whereas in Madden, it's much more stagnant. Like once you get your guy, you good for a while. Unless, again, you decide to self-sabotage and to get rid of that guy. You know what I'm saying? But NCAA doesn't give you that choice. And again, it's the way the NCAA is systematically set up, but it makes for a better gaming experience when it comes to, Dynasty Mode, right? Because you got limited time with each player, so you need to use that guy to his fullest to win games, try to win the national championship, conference championship, bowl games, and most importantly, if you care about the longevity of your team, you need to use him to better your recruiting chances with everybody else. That way, it's a constant flow. People steady coming in and moving out, and you just getting better and better and better. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this, man. I know it's not a super technical breakdown. It's just more off the head, how I feel about each game. And don't forget to check out my NCAA series on this channel. We're on like episode 9 in the UTEP Dynasty. I'm also about to start uploading a Road to Glory, and I'm gonna start uploading a Madden CFM mode, where I'll be playing as my running back who's about to win the Heisman in NCAA and leave. So we're gonna recreate him in Madden, and we're gonna play through a CFM with him as well. And I'll be uploading all of those all week. Alright, so if you enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up button. If you're interested in the type of content that this channel has to offer, go ahead and subscribe. And be sure to come back next week, as I'm gonna argue this same point from Madden side of it. And again, I'm gonna be super objective, because I do believe there are things that Madden has done better in theirs that NCAA doesn't have to offer. Now again, I think overall NCAA is better, but there are some elements in Madden that are really, really good when it comes to the connected franchise mode. But anyway, my name is FlemLo Raps. I'm gonna get with y'all later. If you rocks with the video, remember to click the thumbs up button. If you rocks with me, FlemLo Raps, go ahead and subscribe, and son, I'm gonna fuck with y'all later. One.